Hi, and welcome to Book of Mormon Thoughts today. I'm Ganel-Lyn, and we are going to be talking about Alma, chapter 27 through 29. I love gathering with you this way and sharing some thoughts. And please keep your comments and your messages coming because you sent some amazing ones yesterday. So I'm so grateful. These videos are also going to be available on my YouTube channel, so you're welcome to catch me there. Alma 27 is when Ammon has finally been reunited with these missionary brothers of his. And he is so thrilled. And I have a missionary coming home in 25 days. And so as I read these chapters, I thought of him and the sorrow and the joy that he has experienced while he's been serving. And I love that joy is different than happiness. It's lasting, it's deep, and it often comes from a place of conflict and opposition on the other side. And I think anyone that's been a missionary or has had a missionary from their family go out, you can attest to this, that Ammon was swallowed up in his joy, the joy that comes from the sacrifice that he and his brothers had given, and now they're back together, and it's awesome. Then we turn to chapter 28, and chapter 28 verse 14 is one of my favorites, carrying forward this theme of joy. It says in chapter 28 verse 14, and they gathered together all of the people. No, that's wrong. That's not. That's chapter 27. Chapter 28 verse 14. And thus we see the great call of the diligence of men to labor in the vineyards of the Lord. And thus we see the great reason of sorrow and also rejoicing. Sorrow because of death and destruction among the men, and joy because of the light of Christ unto life. And I love that the source of joy, as we read these verses and chapters going forward, there's going to be a lot of wars, but the joy that comes even in the midst of conflict is through the light of Christ. And President Nelson has asked us to look for Christ as we read the Book of Mormon this year. And I love that verse because hope is possible no matter what is happening. And that is what these young missionaries are testifying of, that they have experienced firsthand. The sorrow is swallowed up in the joy of Christ. And then chapter 29 is one of my personal favorites. In the work that I do as a speaker and a writer, I have often used the words of Alma to comfort me. It's so easy right now with Instagram and YouTubers and influencers of all sorts that are doing great and amazing things, but it's easy to get triggered because they have 175,000 followers because they offer some content that maybe is similar to yours or different than yours. And it's too easy for us to go into comparisons because it feels like we're living in a world where everyone has to be extraordinary. They have to be the biggest YouTube star or the biggest Instagram influencer to make an impact in the world. And so I think about how Alma is crying unto the Lord because he's like, if I was an angel, I could reach everyone. I could reach all of these people that I love. And yet now here I am. I'm struggling because I'm just a man. And this is where the Lord is saying to him through the Spirit, be comforted that your area of influence, your stewardship, is where I want you to be, and it's enough. Also, I think I relate to Alma. He wants to eradicate all the sadness that he sees. And so he's thinking, if I was just a bigger whatever on Instagram, in YouTube, in my family, in my community, in my church callings, then I could do something of importance. And I love that this is the Lord's way of helping us get out of that thought process and maybe just feel grateful for the areas of influence he has given us and to magnify those. And so I really love verse 9 where Alma says, and I know that which the Lord hath commanded me, and I glory in it. I do not glory of myself, but I glory in that which the Lord hath commanded me. Yea, and this is my glory, that perhaps I may be an instrument in the hands of God to bring some soul to repentance, and this is my joy. And that is my joy. My joy is to share messages of hope and messages that may help you in some way today, in a small way, come to God in a little bit of a closer relationship where you're able to feel the joy of Christ swallow up the struggles and adversities that you may be facing at this time. So thank you for joining me. If you're in a different place and reading the Book of Mormon right now, then please share that. I loved that many of you messaged and said, I'm somewhere else and this is what I've learned and these are the miracles I've experienced. So thank you for joining me. I can't wait to keep reading the scriptures with you.